Hi, and welcome to the video over the four operations with signed fractions, where we'll be covering the operations of multiplication and division. So let's get started with our thought process. The first part is the tic-tac-toe sign map, which lets us know the sign that our answer will have, whether it be positive or negative. The second part is when we are dividing, we must remember KFC. That means keep the first number the same, flip the second number, change the sign to multiplication. And number three, if we are multiplying, we have to remember to multiply straight across. On number one, we have our sign map. Let's review the tic-tac-toe sign map. Remember tic-tac-toe? You can win in one of three ways: by drawing a vertical line, a horizontal line, or a diagonal line. Now, to correctly construct the tic-tac-toe sign map, the positives always need to be at a diagonal. So it could be on this diagonal or this diagonal, and negative symbols are everywhere else. Now that we discussed the tic-tac-toe sign map, let's use it to determine, number one, the correct sign our answer should have. So when we looked at our first problem, we had a positive number here and a positive number here. We saw that a positive number divided or multiplied by a positive number gives us a positive answer. So we know that our answer will be a positive number. Now, the next step is to determine if we're dividing with a fraction or multiplying with a fraction. Well, we see the division sign, so we are dividing, so we must remember KFC. So we're going to keep the first number the same. So the first number is 1/2. So I've written down exactly how it is, 1/2. Flip the second number. The second number is 1/3. If I were to flip it, the bottom will go to the top and the top will go to the bottom. It's kind of like making a handstand. So my new fraction will be flipped, and that'll be 3/1. And now I would change the sign to multiplication. So now I'm multiplying with a fraction. So when I'm multiplying with a fraction, I have to multiply straight across. So that means that 1 times 3, numerator to numerator, equals 3. And 2 times 1 equals 2. So my new fraction is an improper 3/2. Always remember to take your improper fraction and put them into simple form, which is a simple fraction or mixed number. And that mixed number is 1 1/2. So let's look at the second problem. The second problem has a negative 5/8, which will be multiplied by 6/12. So we have a negative number being multiplied by a positive number. So when we look at our tic-tac-toe sign map, we need to find a negative number being multiplied or divided by a positive number. So our answer or result sign should be a negative answer. So we're going to have a negative answer. So number 2, are we dividing? No. So number 3, we're multiplying. 5 times 6 equals 30. And that will be over 8 times 12, which will be 96. And we already determined from our tic-tac-toe sign map that our answer is going to be negative. So that is a negative 30/96. So we have negative 30 over 96. And we're going to reduce that with a scale factor and divide it by 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3. So that will give us a negative 10, and that will be all over 32. Well, we see that we can reduce that yet again, so we're going to use another scale factor because we see that it has another shared factor, which is 2. And now we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. Gives us 5/16. So our answer here is 5/16. Let's look at some additional problems. So first things first, we need to determine what sign our answer is going to have. So we need to look at our numbers. Our first number is a positive 3/10 times a positive 2/5. So that means a positive number times it divided by a positive number gives us a positive answer. So we know our answer is going to be positive. And we're multiplying. So we have to just multiply straight across. So 3 times 2 gives us 6. And that'll be over 10 times 5. And that gives us 50. And our answer is going to be positive. But we see that we have a common factor of between 6 and 50. So we could divide this by a scale factor of 2. So when we divide this by 2, what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So 50 divided by, or let's start from top. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. So our answer is 3/25. And lastly, the last problem states -4/7 times -8/9. Well, looking at our tic-tac-toe model, we have a negative number being multiplied by a negative number. And when we go to our site map, we know that a negative multiplied or divided by a negative number always gives us a positive answer. So our answer is going to be positive. And we're multiplying. So we multiply fractions straight across. 4 times 8, that gives us 32. And 7 times 9 gives us 63. So our answer is 32 over 63. And our answer is positive. Are there any factors between 32 and 63 that they both share? No. So 32/63 is our correct answer. Well, thank you for watching the 4 operations with assigned fractions. I hope you remember the rules of how to multiply and divide a problem when it contains a fraction. Remember our thought process. Remember, decide what sign the answer is going to have first. You can use the tic-tac model to help you do that. And in second, if you're dividing, remember KFC. Keep the first the same, flip the second, change the sign to multiplication. Or if you already have multiplication, then remember, always multiply fractions straight across.